to the Valley, the old farm, and we are headed up to the store for Forestry Friday. So I've got a worker running the fair, and I'm trying desperately to crash into them to make their job infinitely harder. Honestly, I'm not, but it seems to be that way. So yeah, the hopefully the fair is still going. Yep, still going, I think. So I'm gonna head up to the store. Need to pick up some equipment, and then we're going to buy a plot of land that's near one of the wood sell points, so we don't spend an infinite amount of time carting the wood. And yeah, I just thought it'd be an interesting little video. So I loaded up the BGA with a bunch of the silage, all of the slurry and manure, and it's now processing. And it's, even though it's a very quick BGA, it's going to take a little while because the mini BGA doesn't it shares cycles, so with having 3 active, it's running a third of the time. So yep, I'll get up to the store and I will get everything brought. So the other thing that I did that you may have noticed as I drove past it is I converted our trailer into a logging trailer. It's not a very big logging trailer, but it is a logging trailer, so that saves us some money. We've been doing some leasing and some borrowing. Oh, we could refuel here. I did not realize that. Let's do that. We'll get some fuel while we're here. Right, so let's jump into the store. We'll refill the other tractor as well while we're here. I'm going to go to Forestry because it's Forestry Friday. And I wanted to have a play with this kelsa kit. So it includes a 3-point tree cutter and a really nice looking log fork. So I am just going to lease it. It doesn't say it has a horsepower requirement, so I'm hoping that the Fiat can run it. We'll find out. So we're going to lease this because we're not going to be doing lots of forestry. And we are going to go into forestry and across to the log fork, and we're going to lease that. You can get this in 2 sizes, so you can get small or large. Large extends the tines there. I think we're going to try small. It probably better suits the way that I like picking up logs, and we're going to get it for a front loader. So we're going to lease that as well. So the leasing was not too expensive. Once we get there, I will transfer the logging thing to the rear 3-point, I think. I think that will be better. But just to get everything to where we're going, we'll use this approach. And then I leased another trailer as well. I leased the class trailer to move the silage because I still couldn't get it to go easily into this trailer. So it did go in the end. I leased a forage pickup thingy as well, and it did work sort of, but I was kind of, I just thought I'd lease a trailer and make it a bit easier. So there we go. So we can go up, down, we can twist, and then I guess if we pick this one, we can open and close. Awesome. So that's our logging kit, and then I want to head, so I think this, that's the biomass heating plant, that takes wood. That's the carpentry, that takes wood. So if we go into the map, into not the worker menu, into farmlands, and select this plot of land is £268,000. It's pretty huge. So we're going to drive down there and have a quick check before I buy it, because I have not scouted it out. So we'll drive down in the Lizard and we'll refuel that before we go, actually. So let's do that. And I'll borrow a bunch of cash. We'll buy this plot of land. I'll probably only use it for a little while and then we'll sell it on. Pete did have the suggestion of buying the field next to the BGA. It already has a sunflower crop in it growing. So if we do buy that, I'll buy it later on and we'll just make use of the crop, I think. So that's why I'm not rushing to buy another field. And I thought this would be a little bit different. Might be fun. Might be horrendous, but part of experiencing different things on console. So if Mr. CDP can do it. I can try to do it. And basically trying to kill some time while we do the processing at the BGA. So there's the biomass heating plant. And I say that takes logs. The carpentry is down there. And the plot of land that I want to buy kind of immediately backs onto that anyway. So let's just jump out, have a bit of a run around. On PC, this would be a great time to fly around, obviously. But yeah, there's loads of decent sized trees in here. So I think this will work. So we need to borrow about 150 grand, I guess. We're not particularly... We're only 15,000 in debt at the moment anyway, so let's borrow a bunch of cash. We can afford to buy the land. We'll probably be able to repay this pretty quickly with the BGA. So, yep, not too worried about that. So farmland, select, buy. Yes. So we now own that. Let's jump in the Fiat and bring this down. As I say, this logging trailer is not going to hold a lot, but it's such a short drive that we could almost just pick them up with the logging fork, so I'm not too worried about that. In fact, we may do that for the first few. So yep, that'll be a way of doing things which will work. And if it works, it's not stupid. Them's the rules. So yep, let's get ourselves down there and we'll have a go at this. I had thought that the BGA would process everything much quicker, but because we've got so much running through it, it's going to take a little while. We've still got a fair bit of silage to shift as well, so I thought this would be a nice distraction. Challenge, frustration. I was just thinking I need to buy a chainsaw, but I don't, because this cuts trees, so I don't need to buy a chainsaw. I just need to use the thing that I've brought. And the nice thing is this should allow us to create logs of uniform length. So let's select the trailer and detach it. And then I really think that we should have that connected to the rear 3-point. It's putting a lot of weight on the front of the tractor. So game wise, doesn't matter. For me, it just kind of feels like the right thing to do. As it doesn't have a horsepower requirement, I guess it's just very low, but who knows? So let's have a look at some controls. So that swings that. I'm not sure. That does those. That rotates the head. So I'm guessing that does that. That does that. So if we now do next tool, that moves. So there is a display on this. If I zoom right in, so what we can do with control group 2 selected is we can move that around, I believe. There we go. So we can move that into the cab. And no, I don't actually remember how to change. Here we go. So there it is. So if I do that one, that moves it that way, that moves it that way. I'm guessing that rotates it. So there's that display there. I'm just going to leave it hovering, I think. We're going to go to external view. So if I do turn on tree harvester, it feels like I need to unfold the tree harvester. We'll change the cut length to do something better. That's that. So if we change control group, feels like there should be an unfold button. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. So that's done that. That moves that out. Right, let's get ourselves positioned near some trees. I am not planning to put down the legs because I think we're going to need to move a fair bit. So, probably, ideally, you'd want a tractor where you could reverse the driving position, I think. But I'm just kind of curious as to how this thing's going to work. That one. There we go. So, right shoulder lowers it. Left shoulder lets us tilt and move in and out. So if I do that, we can... Oh, there was a cut option at one point. Harvester is on. So let's try moving it up a bit. This is super slick, isn't it? This is super slick. So, got the right group selected. We are off to the side slightly. There we go. So we can cut. Brilliant. Would you believe it? I would. And then we can actually use this to drive it out of the forest a bit. And we can cut. And move the camera a little bit. I like to lift up a little bit when I'm cutting, so that they can then fall on the ground. And look at that. Forestry is happening. I did a thing. So let's find some more pine trees. We probably don't want to be tackling non-pine trees with this. And we will lower down a bit. The other... Let's not crash into the hedge. The other implement that came was a log grab. And yes, I guess if you're doing loading into a big trailer, that would be useful. Regulars will know I really like my front loaders on tractors, so that's what we're using. There we go. So we want to come forwards. No, not that far, just a little bit. Let's go there. So we'll go down. We'll go across and out, and we'll cut. We'll lift up, pull up. We'll get stuck in the hedge, maybe. Let's give it some beans. There we go. Brilliant. So we will lift up some more. And back up and drop this one here. And then we will cut these to 6 meter lengths. There we go. Look at that. This is really good, actually. It's really, if you want to get into some forestry, this is a really cheap way of doing it. So, let's turn that guy off. Let's jump in the brewer and give this log grapple a try. And see how we get on with this. I'm now wishing I went for the bigger log grapple, because it does feel like we're going to be a little bit small. You know, that's okay. Let's open it up. Drop it down. Actually, we can probably go underneath these. Let's see if we can grab a couple of logs in one go. Gonna go for no on this first one, just with how things are placed unless we pick up, push forwards, up some more, go down. That's not going to work. That's not going to work well. I shouldn't have dropped those on the ends of the other ones. So maybe what we can do is stack them up nicely first. So let's open that up. Let's put this down and we'll push this to there. There we go. And it's really, having an automated tree harvester for 45 grand is insane. You know, that's a super cheap forestry setup. You know, where you then don't need to worry about chainsawing and all that kind of thing. I do think that going for the bigger, wow, we just picked up 3 there. No, 2. Going for the bigger bale log grab would have been more sensible now, but that's okay. And I'm just going to drive these straight to the sell point. That feels like the sensible thing to do at this point. And that's why I went for this plot of land, because it's much easier. Just do that. And we can move a whole bunch of logs across and just get them sold, basically. So we'll grab, no, we'll crash into the trailer first before we grab anything. We'll then grab this one log here. Okay. This probably is going to tax my brain a fair bit. I'm having to... If I was on PC, this would be so easy because I know all of the keyboard findings, but I'm still learning on PC, not PC, on console. I'm still a console noob. I will forever be a console noob because I don't think I'm going to play on here long enough to not be, but it's about learning the movement patterns. It's the same with all games, isn't it? Whatever platform you play on, you need to learn the movement pattern, and then once you've learned it, you're pretty good. So there we go. It's another 2 logs picked up. I'm guessing with this smaller grab, 2 logs is probably the most we're going to get into the jaws, but actually held those reasonably well for me being dumb. So that's good. And yeah, we'll see what we're going to get for 2 moderately sized trees. So I am playing on easy economic difficulty, so bear that in mind. And that's just going through the biomass heating plant. I did at the start of FS22. I did my little survival challenge thing on Uberlu, or Obeleron as normal people call it. If you're a superstar, you can call it whatever you want. Betting we're only going to get 1 of these. Yeah, they're pretty hefty logs. And I did a fair bit of forestry on there, and it was, apart from the really nice little tree harvester, it was very similar. But it was a chainsaw and a front loader tractor and a little trailer. Well, it started off with a chainsaw and a truck and a lot of cutting things very small, but this is cool. This is working okay. Who doesn't love Forestry Friday, eh? Don't all rush to tell me that you don't love Forestry Friday. But yeah, I've had a hankering for some forestry since watching Mr. CDP's Floor is Lava videos, so this is satisfying that itch. And realistically, would it be quicker to load the trailer? I mean, the trailer's quite small, so a 6 meter log is not going to go on there very well. So I don't know what the optimal log length is for selling. I think it used to be 8. I think in 19. It's not my sort of thing to worry about testing. Forestry is definitely a sometimes thing, not an always thing. It's a nice little job to do on a day like today when it's raining in game, waiting for stuff to process, and I didn't want to just skip a bunch of time. And who knows, maybe we can make some cash out of it. The cool thing is, you know, once we're done, we can just sell this plot of land and we've not lost any money on it. You don't lose money on land in FS, so yeah. We'll actually be, you know, we'll be no worse off really as long as we cover the cost of leasing. If we can more than cover the cost of leasing, we'll make some money. Yeah. And it's another thing on console ticked off, and actually I think this mod pack is a bit of a find with the cost of that logging crane and how well it worked once I got my brain around using it. So £500 so I think we've just covered our leasing costs, because the leasing costs I think were a lot less than that. I can't check because I have leased a bunch of other stuff, but for that logging crane I think we are net positive now. So let's just get stuck in to chopping down a bunch of trees. Let's restart the Fiat and see if we can cut some trees down, pull them out to a nice location to deal with. Yeah, it would be good. It's not so good. Going to just straighten that up, and we need to drop down. There we go. If I do that, bring it in a bit tighter, probably be better for the weight on the back of the tractor. I'm not using the feet legs things. No. You can see there we are. Struggling a little bit with the weight. Let's bring it in. And no. Up. There we go. Let's go. See if we can get out. Getting stuck on a tree stump was not part of the plan. Okay, that's not so great. What we're going to do is rotate to there. Stupidly detach the darn thing. That was a bit of luck. And on, cut. That's good, it didn't drop it. I was worried it was going to drop it. So let's just get that cut up. And see if we can get ourselves off of this tree stump then. So I know what we can do. The way to fix this is power and speed. There we go. Or that will allow us to get both tractors stuck together. There we go. Remember, folks, realism is key. There we go. There we go. Wrong way. And brilliant. Look at that. I know what I'm doing. I am a forestry genius. Let's grab the next tree. We want to drop ourselves down. I'm actually going to push that out a little bit. The controls are starting to make a little bit of sense, which is good. Right, off we go. And yeah, what I think think we'll do is do twist to the side, lift up, and then cut. And hopefully we can make kind of a nice pile of logs here. That's going super smoothly. Look at that. Yeah, brilliant. Exactly what I wanted. There we go. Let's throw that. Awesome, mate. I know I am a forestry genie. Genius. Genie. Something. If one of your 3 wishes is for me to stop doing this, then you're luck. Because we're doing some more. Let's go. Try not to drive over the tree stumps. We'll drive over the tree. There we go. And no, that one. Then that one. Then that. Look at this. We are masters of forestry. Right, let's get our head back in the correct place. And there we go. This is working so well. Famous last words and all that. Now look at what's going on behind us. Let's just get to the correct spot again. There we go. Cross. Up. More. Can we can rotate the head, but I don't think we've got enough power to, so that's okay. Let's just put these up. Hey, Mr. CDP, if you're watching, which I doubt you are, you know, you should use this on your floor as lava thing. If you're not already, have to admit I have not. Now it's rotated the head. Head. I have not watched your latest video, so maybe you are. Maybe you've gone even bigger than this by now. I don't know, but this is brilliant fun. Who knew forestry could be enjoyable, eh? Probably slightly biased by the fact that I do love driving this tractor, so... Why isn't that? There we go. Controls are even quite nicely set up for refining how you know, use the thing. There we go. So we want to... I really want it coming across like that. See if we can maneuver the tree a little bit. Probably not, to be honest. Maybe we just start a new pile here. There we go. Up. Chop. Ah, this is so cool. This is so cool. So probably common sense would say to do this actually in the trigger. But hey, firstly, common sense is not that common, is it? So I do think a reverse steer tractor, you know, one of the fence or whatever, where you can, or the old vouchers or the new vouchers where you can spin around where you're sitting, would be brilliant for this. Again, I'm using the word brilliant so much. I somewhat apologise, but not really. Okay, that's probably why we're struggling there. A bit. There we go. This is what I mean, because I've got the left shoulder held in, L1 held in, and I can move around until I get the cut symbol. And then we just blast our way out of the forest and work out which pile we're heading to. I think maybe if we come hard across here, we can maybe get it on this pile. Have a look in a moment. Definitely a front weight would be good. Obviously, you're dragging around some pretty heavy trees. Maybe not. That'll do. That'll do. Done it again. Thankfully, it does all stay behaving itself. That's good. This is not so good. Right, let's back up. And turn off, and I bet some of these we can pick up by hand. Yep. Now, let's just run the ones we can lift up over to the sell point. Where's it gone? There it is. That didn't go well, did it? So, pick that up again. Drop it down here. So I think there's going to be a few of these. Every tree seems to have a couple, doesn't it? Are there any others that we can... 400 kilos is a no, but 140 kilos is a yes. I won't run this time. We will walk so I don't drop it. I love the fact that, realism is key and all that. Walking with a 140 kilo, 6 meter long log held in front of you is not realism at all. I'm, even some of these ones, slightly smaller ones that we can pick up. So there's one there that's 100 kilos, 138 kilos. Again, we'd never pick this up as a normal human being. Even as a very strong human being, you wouldn't pick this up and carry it like this. No way at all. But what it's doing is it's thinning out the ones that we have to move with the tractor. There's one under there that we can get. Let's run that one over as well. Maybe we could throw it like a javelin, holding it like this. Go. So, expect we've got most of them out of there. Yeah. What's that one? What's that one? Yep. I think 200 is too heavy, yeah. I think the limit is 200. So, there'll be one over here we can pick up. Let's do that. Drop. There we go. I think there's a tree over here where I got stuck on the stump. Yep. So somewhere in here, that one is going to be... It's either pretty consistent trees because we're fairly consistently getting a piece that's about 130 kilos. Let's drop that down as well. And then I'm going to jump in the lizard. And we're right here, so... Oh, PlayStation 4 sounds very warm. Very warm indeed. Doesn't seem to be designed that with that much cooling in mind. Yeah, who am I to complain? It was free. Well, it wasn't free. I brought it. But then it was a Christmas present, I think, for our daughter, who used it for years, and then I've been given it. So probably overthinking its cost. There. Who can remember how many trees I cut down? It almost feel like it would be worth loading these on the trailer with how many there are. As we can grab, if we're grabbing 2 at a time, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not with 2 at a time. Maybe it's just quicker to drive them around. And really what would be quicker would probably be just dragging them into the trigger and chopping them up in the trigger. Oh well. Right. Drop. There we go. So yeah, in the last video I sort of mentioned this. I had thought about stopping this series, but I'm kind of feeling reinvigorated with it at the moment, so we're going to keep going. And with that in mind, the longest still that this I think will run will be until the end of this farming season, I guess is the right word. And then I either we'll focus on the 2 main Let's Plays, or we'll mix something different in, maybe a mini-series, something like that. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, I don't want to play on here forever. If there is the possibility that I'll move this series across to PC. It's a really nice map. And you know, we could mix in some of the fun mods then. There we go. So what I normally like to do, and I'm not really demonstrating it very well, and I say normally, I don't do that much forestry, is I like to try and pick up my logs at that kind of angle. Because normally that lets you get a couple in the grab. Like that. And then if we can open that. No. If the grab was slightly bigger, if I'd got the slightly bigger version, that would probably have then rolled those 2 into the jaws. But it didn't. So, hey, don't listen to me. I know nothing. There we go. And it's pretty cool that the little brewer lizard thing is handling this weight really well. Really not struggling too much with, you know, probably what's a ton of tree on the front. There we go. Oh. Even when I'm pretty aggressively moving the loader about with 2 logs in the front, it's not really struggling too bad. 1 minute. I've got a new pair of headphones, and sound-wise they're really nice, but they kind of clamp my head quite a lot, so still getting used to wearing them. To be honest, I can play the game without sound just as well, generally, apart from if you're around bailing. Yeah, so I think I've not done a huge amount on here, but that was never the intent. It was about an experiment. I might do some more off camera, but I think probably what I'm going to do is get these loaded up with you guys, get these all sold, and we'll just see how much money we made from this little, you know, hour of doing a bit of forestry. But my neck's quite tired at the moment. It's the end of the working day, And I would kind of... Also, Mrs. D goes away tomorrow. She's going up to see the teenager. So it'd be nice to spend a bit of time with her now, finish work. I might do a bit more off camera and pay attention. I might do a bit off camera. We might add some more in, but might be it. Might be it. Earlier today, I was recording a tutorial on adding universal autoload to trailers. It'd be a good mod for console players, wouldn't it? But unfortunately, because it's a script, it's a very clever script. Loki's a very clever guy. Yeah, unfortunately, don't blame Giants. That's down to the platforms not wanting script mods in the game. And equally, I think like a PS4 would struggle to run some of the heavier scripts. You know, it struggles to update the map, so let's not fool ourselves here. It's yeah, and that's one that I've probably spoken about it a bit. With the speculation about a new version of the game, you know, it's kind of once a week now. You see the FS20 whatever has to have SnowRunner terrain in it. It doesn't. It really doesn't. The thing with SnowRunner and its terrain is a lot of the terrain is not that different to FS. You know, there's only bits of the maps that I've played anyway. I've not played all of the maps. I've only played some of the early game. But a lot of the map is not dynamic terrain. A lot of the map is, you know, firm ground with little dynamic objects on it, you know, the little rocks and stuff. And my view is still that, you know, if you're a PC player and you are not playing with the mud system enabled and you haven't fully, you know, prepared the map for the mud system, so you haven't put in patches of really sticky terrain, you don't want dynamic terrain. If you play on PC and you're, you know, you think dynamic terrain would be good, give the mod a look. My view, so I use the mud, it's called mud system, I think, actually. I use it on at least one of my saves. I might not use it on both of my PC saves. Honestly, can't remember. But I use it on maps that aren't mud system ready. It's brilliant. What it does is it doesn't deform the terrain, but it makes it so the terrain is soft when it gets wet and things get stuck. And I think that's, to some extent, the effect people want. It's not super excessive, so it's not like some of the mud system ready maps were when they released, and you know, you couldn't get in a field gate, couldn't get through a gate, that kind of thing. It's not really extreme, but it just adds a nice, you know, oh, it's been raining for a bit, I'm probably not going to be able to go plough a field unless I've got a Mahusive tractor. That kind of thing. You know, I was trying to harvest a root crop field with my favourite little root crop harvester, and because it's got very small wheels, it couldn't get through the mud. That seemed realistic to me. I had to wait for it to stop raining. I had to give a bit of time for the ground to dry out. Perfectly sensible. But, you know, you're not getting stuck all the time. That's my thought on dynamic terrain. Keep saying it probably. I think I spoke about it, you know, on Sunday with Cartech. Decent pile of logs here, actually. Decent pile of logs. Some features that I would like to see in the base game. I'm torn on this one. I would like to see something like time-saving stock check. but also I don't want, you know, that was created by Mark Haythornthwaite. And he put a lot of work into it, and it's a really nice mod. But it would be nice if there was something like that available for all platforms. But equally, you know, I don't want to see my friend lose his mod. So yeah, it's a bit of a mixed one, but the functionality of that is so useful. It's like being able to see what you've got on the farm, what it's going to be, what it is worth, what it could be worth if you waited. It's so useful. It's so useful for maximizing and simplifying. The other one that I think would be good, and will, you know, again, don't like seeing a modder have their mod sucked into the game and them losing the benefit of having the mod, but sell price triggers. It's really useful. You know, being able to set a price alert so that you remember to sell stuff. I haven't used that one in a while, but I do like that. Very handy little mod. That would be nice to have that kind of functionality built into the game. And the last one I think that would be good would be Simple Inspector. And I know the base game workers are not as functional, but being able to have some indication of what your workers are up to, and you know, whether they're full or whether they've run out of seed or whatever, would be really useful, I think. Let's see if we can grab both of these. I don't think we will, because that front log is quite big. Again, I should have got the bigger log forks, but no, wait, wrong control, actually, not wrong way. No, we might. Yep, we have got it. So if we had the slightly longer fork, it would sit on that, on the front of that better. So lesson for next time. But actually, oh, there's another log there. Still need to get that. But actually, everything's worked really well. I think it's been a nice little test of this Kessler kit. So that's a reasonably recent mod. It is on all platforms, obviously, because I'm using it on PS4. I don't think there are any mods that are on console that aren't on PC. That'd be kind of weird. Because console is the platform that has restrictions. That's not brilliant. Let's tidy that up after. So let's grab this last log and see how much our little bit of forestry is going to have earned us. And then, yes, I'm going to keep this kit for a bit. I might do some stuff off camera. I might not. It depends if I get time. There we go. I guess the one thing, you know, with doing forestry on console, and it's the thing that I, you know, respect about Mr. CDP doing, is you can't cheat off camera. You know, you can't double tap Alt to get super strength up and just run everything around the map. You've got to work for it. You have got to work for it. So, I think you think, actually, I don't know. I don't think you can get auto load logging trailers on console. You can on PC, and universal auto load works with logs now. So that one log might not go, but I did. Nice, 15 grand. So 20 grand's worth of trees sold today. And yeah, there's a whole bunch more there that I could do. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have enjoyed this. Thank you to patrons and the YouTube channel members. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Any comments, questions, or suggestions, stick them below. And I will see you next time.